Hi guys, this is Annie. I hope you all are doing great tonight. And tonight I will be doing one of my few Valentine manicures for you. This will be the first one of the set, so let's get started. And these are the items I will be using on my manicure tonight. I'll go through them very briefly with you, but they will also be listed in the description box with further details. So here I have my little tiny roller tape brush, some pure acetone, my base colors as well as my stamping polishes, my stamper and my scraper, my stamping plates, some cotton on a cotton claw, a cleanup brush, and some nail tip guides. So now that we have everything ready for this manicure, let's begin. Alright guys, so I have already gone ahead and prepped and get started on this because it takes a little while to do this particular manicure because you have to make stuff dry in between. So for my base color, I went ahead and used my favorite product, which is the Insta-Dri by Sally Hansen nail polish, and the first base coat, which is the pink color you see here, is Mauve number 160. So there it is. And for the tips, I will be using my Kleancolor nail lacquer number 4, which is just white. So you can do the tips two ways. You can either do it freehand, which I have done here, and the other way you could actually do it is by using the nail tip guides. For you guys, I'm going to show you how to use the nail tip guides because it is a little faster than doing it freehand. I actually had a little bit more time in my hands earlier today, so I went ahead and done that freehand, trying to get it done a little bit on the harder side, so to speak. So it's just going to be easier for me to pull this out with my fingers instead of the tweezer. You want to line it up really well. You can also use the square guides if you have it, or the regular French tip guides. I am choosing to use this deep arch shape tonight for this manicure. And pretty much just go in and press all the ends in. Make sure it's nice and flat. You don't want any spaces on there. Spaces will mean that there's bubbles, and nail polish would go through on the bubbles. So this is the easier way to do it, by the way, guys. And I am using the regular nail lacquer for the tips, and I'm immediately gonna peel that tape out as soon as I apply that polish on there. And the reason to peel it out as quickly as possible is because you don't want it to start caking up, because when you do, it's gonna leave a line or even peel up that nail polish. So as you can see, I did a nice thick coat of that white, and then I'm just gonna take the tweezer and pick it up, moving around, and the latex is gonna come out here as well. So take the, there you go. So you have a nice clean line, and then I'll come back and apply some latex around it, but I'll let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to actually apply a coat of my top coat on that to kind of smoothen things out before we go stamping on there. I have already done that for the rest of the nail, so we can go ahead and begin stamping. Let me just grab my stamping plates and I'll be right back. So here we have it now, where it's just a simple French manicure, and you can either leave it like this if you'd like. It does look great, or you can go ahead and do the next step, which I wanted to do, was just kind of apply a tiny little design on that pink to kind of let it pop out and, you know, just bring it out just a little bit more. So that's what we're going to do now. And for that, I am going to take the design out of my Winstonia plate, and this one is called All My Hearts, and I'll be using this little squiggly design here, which is pretty much looks like little roses, and it looks like just little lines and a little heart in between. It's very, very light. As you could see here, you can barely see much of it, but I didn't want it to pop out too much, but at the same time I didn't want it to stay plain old pink. So we'll use that, and I am going to use my stamping polish by Born Pretty, and this is just plain old white polish, and I will be using my tiny little transparent stamper for this. Alright guys, so let's do this. So The middle finger that I just demonstrated on for you guys are probably not dried properly, so I'll leave that one for last. So here we go, get a nice clean scrape, and like I said, this particular design is very, very light, so you're not going to see too much of it as I'm stamping with it, but in the pictures you will see it more clear. And there it is, it's very light, so let's transfer that over before it gets all dried up. And that's it. So let's continue doing that for the rest of the nails. Okay guys, so now that we are done stamping the first set of nail stamping, which is the white dots you see in the back, it's time to grab my other stamping plate and my red nail polish. So let me do that and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so at this point what I would like to do is go ahead and remove that latex, because the little heart that I'm going to use for my cheeky plate is so small, I'm not going to really get too much mess on my fingers from it. So at this point it's safe enough to go ahead and remove that latex. So peel that you have on, and then we'll continue with doing the stamping. And this really does help a lot. The latex or the peel really does help with a faster cleanup. You know, you still have to go in there and clean up for a little bit, but it's not much work with this thing on. It really does help with 90% of the cleanup time. So there we go. So let's get this little heart going now, and for that I am using my bright red stamping polish from Born Pretty. The plate again is Cheeky and it's number CH16 if anybody wants to know of that plate. And I am going to try and pick it up with this little transparent stamper that I have been using, but sometimes it doesn't work very clear, so I might just switch off to the regular bigger one. So if you see a switch on there, that's what's going on, okay? So let's try it first with the little one and see. I like that little one because you guys could see through it a lot easier than the bigger one. So let me go ahead and try that first. And that for some reason did not pick up. So let me try it one more time before I call it quits on it. And this had happened before, I don't know why. Sometimes it picks up, sometimes it doesn't, but we'll just keep trying to see if it does it again, because like I say, it really is a little bit easier for you guys to see it. And it picked up very nice that time. So we'll just go ahead now and go off a little bit to the side and stamp it on. So here we go. And I missed that one little heart, so I'll just go in and fix that. Just stick them in wherever we can. It's a little bit dried up at this point, so let's see if I can get it back on very slowly. And that one is done. So let's go on and move on to the next. So at this point we'll just continue to keep stamping, you know, in the same spot with the little hearts. I am gonna switch off the stamper, guys, because I feel a little more comfortable with this one at the moment, and I don't want to have to stop and have to do it back every single time like we just did. So I think this one works just a little bit better. Let's try that to make sure. Yeah, and it really does. So I'll stick with this one. So we'll just go ahead again and plug it right in and roll. And that's it. And I'll continue doing the next 3 nails. And now that we are done with all the stamping, we can go ahead and start cleaning up before we apply the top coat. And there is not much cleaning up, like I said, but I do have little specks of latex here and there. So I'm just going to go in with my little tweezer and pull that out. And then we will go ahead with the brush and some acetone as well around the nails to get some of that white that I do see from around the nails as well, because once that stuff is set in, you don't want to go and apply top coat and have that set in even more. So here I have my little brush that I usually clean up with. I'm just gonna dip it in some acetone and clean up around the edges, anything that might have nail polish residue and stuff that I don't like. This one's actually on my finger there. And we don't have much because, like I said, that latex really does help with cleaning up. And I really like that one a lot. So let me just finish this up and we'll come right back and apply the top coat. So, of course, I am using my favorite fast drying top coat, which is the Out the Door brand. And again, I'll just remind you guys, I always say it in my videos and I usually repeat myself because I don't know who's watching this for the first time. So just to let you know, the best way to apply top coat over your stamped images and your stamped nails is to be very, very generous on the top coat. Have a loaded brush. If you can see this brush, it's really, really loaded. And you don't want to swipe over the same area twice because you can drag the image and the nail polish would leave streaks behind. You don't want that either. And I do recommend to cap the tips of your nails. And by that, I mean you take the brush and you go this way and fill that tips up as well. That will help for your nail polish to stay on your nails just a little longer from wear and tear and chipping as well, going from the tips up. So let me show you the first one and then we'll fast forward through the rest. So again, my brush is nice and loaded and I'm being very light on the brush itself. I am not pressing down. I am gently stroking over the image so it does not drag. And as you can see, I am trying my best not to go over the same spot twice. And this is what I'm calling capping your nails. That really does help. At least it helps for me with my manicure to last a little longer. And that one is done. So let's continue doing that for the rest. So guys, that's the top coat that we're done. So take a closer look at these pictures and I'll be right back. And here it is, guys, the finished mani. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video tonight. And if you have any questions, always feel free to write to me. I'll answer them as best as I can and as fast as I can. And don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming newest videos as well. And thank you all very much for watching. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.